Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and it's time for a Tuesday tip. Now, you guys know how much I love this aquarium, and especially the different Bucephelandras that I have growing in it. While in Denver, I had the best opportunity to see and learn more about this interesting plant genus. Ghazanfar Ghori, who is relatively local to me, he's from the greater DC area, was there and gave us a really comprehensive presentation on this entire family of plant. And I took a bunch of video and have some of what I thought were the highlights of the presentation to share with you guys. Now, the most important things I took away from the talk was that there are tons and tons and tons of species, and the best way to identify them is to flower them and send in pictures. And the other thing was, it is of critical importance that we purchase these plants from responsible and ethical sellers who are farming them in nurseries, because what's happening is a lot of these plants are being taken en masse out of the wild, rendering entire species of these plants extinct. So let's take a look at the presentation and you can hear more what Ghazanfar has to teach us.
This directly. If we're buying wild collected plants, that will just fuel that industry and more collection of wild plants, and especially right now with information so readily available on Facebook and the internet in general, there has been cases of plants being found and demand skyrocketing within months of something being found, and before the year's over, wherever the plant is endemic to, it's no longer there. It's no longer found. It's extinct essentially in the wild. So it's important to support the hobby and commercially produced plants that way. Bucephelandra. The C is actually pronounced as a K, and that is the correct spelling. So maybe we can try and say this together. So just repeat after me. Boo. Cafe. Alondra. Bucephelandra. All right, that's great. Now that we all know how to properly pronounce it, we will continue to call it Bucephelandra. Right? That's the way to do things, right? All right. So Bucephelandra, it's a genus that's garnered a lot of attention over the last 5 or 6 years in the hobby. It's an exciting new genus that's entered the hobby with a lot of different species. It actually belongs to the family Eraceae, which is generally known as aeroids. And there's definitely that's a very big family. Contains over 140 genuses, over 4,000 different species, also commonly known as arums and aeroids. It contains several aquarium genuses as well, or genuses that are common in the aquarium hobby, such as Nubius, Cryptocorini, Legonendra as well. Other non-aquatic family members are anthuriums, philodendrons, for example, what you'll find common across a lot of these is the flower resembles a peace lily, which you will have a spathe and then a limb where the pollen and the ovaries are. And so you'll see that across the board. In fact, from time to time in the news, you'll see botanical gardens advertising that their giant stinky flower is about to bloom. Come visit it. It's a member of this family. You're probably keeping a lot of ones from these species. And there are other species that are available. These are the ones that are more commonly available in the hobby. In freshwater streams, in elevations between sea level and about 400 meters, they're often found growing alongside freshwater, fast-flowing streams, or on waterfall cliff faces themselves. often growing on sheer granite or rocky bottoms, sometimes shale and sometimes sandstone as well. But in nature, you'll often find them on the edges, so on the side of a waterfall or in the bottom where the water is splashing right on the sides and on the rocks. Sometimes you'll find them submerged, but most often not. They're definitely constantly moist, right? So they require humidity. Even when growing them in nurseries, the humidity requirements are generally a little bit higher than most of the plants. But you can see rocky outcrops on this is completely covered with spatulata, but fast-flowing clear water streams. It's typical. Actually, let me go back one second. The other thing you'll notice is, number one, you'll often find them growing in shaded spots. That's most common they'll be in shade. One of the questions Luca asked me yesterday was, will they do okay in shade? Most definitely do okay in shade. Will they do okay in highlight? Most definitely as well, because you will find them in full sun as well. And in this case, you can actually see them growing submerged. This stream is completely choked with Bucephelandra. And this is a rocky bottom stream, so you can't see in this picture, but the pictures of the series. Here's Gigantea. This one is found, it's almost a flat rock surface. It's found a nook within a crack within the surface and managed to grow. This is very typical of Bucephelandra. They'll be growing on almost sheer rock surfaces. And there's a mechanism to that, and I'll explain that a little bit later as well. Now, what's also funny is that Bucephelandra share something that's in common with crypts as well, in that the mythical crypt disease, in which crypts melt completely down to the rhizome, is also apparent in Bucephelandra. So a drastic change in water chemistry will cause the plant to melt down. My theory, and when I was really into crypts, and still pertains to this as well, is that what the plant is doing is that it's thinking, hey, it's the rainy season, my big wide leaves are going to get torn away anyway, may as well transport all my nutrients down to the rhizome, shed all that junk, and then when the conditions are favorable again, sprout again. And so it's a very, very rapid collapse as I believe those nutrients are transported back to the rhizome. And so you see that in Bucephelandra as well. At some point in time, it'd be good to get someone who's more knowledgeable than I am to actually figure out whether that's really what's happening. And not something that necessarily we're doing, not a disease per se, right? Staminodes over here, these structures, and then you've got the female part of the flower, the ovaries, and then a kettle in the limb of the spade. So the petals, the spade itself, actually falls apart. You'll see this within their aquariums as we were kind of growing this. You'll see the flower in more of this stage, and then all of a sudden it looks like it fell apart. There's no in between, and that's normal. That's how it does it in nature as well. This one's been artificially opened up to kind of demonstrate some of this as well. But here's a closer up look at some of the structures, and I will explain how some of this works as well. So initially, and this is number one, it's cut open, right? The petal, the limb of the spade, has been cut away before any of the structures have ripened, right, and are ready. So things that you want to pay attention to. So for example, this is the male portion of the flower. You can see it's different here. It's just as it kind of progresses. The same thing on the female part of the flower. And then these staminodes, you can see that they're different. This one, they're facing up, and these ones are facing out. And what happens is the male and female part of the flower actually mature at different times. So first, the female portion of the flower matures and actually gives out an odor to attract beetles. And beetles are the primary pollinators of Bucephelandra. So it'll attract the beetles, and beetles from surrounding Buce flowers that have pollen on them will come in attracted by the odor and will cross-pollinate the plant. And then what happens is these stem nodes will actually close. So this is the kettle, right? These are the stem nodes. So they'll actually fold down and protect the female part of the flower after that point in time. Right? So it will actually close up. So initially, as the female flower matures, odor is given out, the beetles come in, they'll pollinate, they exit, the stem nodes flap down, and this is over a day. They'll close access to that. And then the male part of the flower actually matures. You can see the difference over here. There's no pollen here. And these bodies that are coming out, there's a pollen droplet at the end of each one of those. And so the male flower matures and actually gives out a different odor and attracts the beetles again. Here's a top-down view so you can see the male flower is matured, the female is past its receptive stage, and the stem nodes have actually shut down access. The limb of the spade is starting to decompose and fall away. And these are the structures that we will be paying attention to as you want to ID your Bucephelandra. The top, the male flower, the staminodes, the female flower, and sometimes the base over here. This is more anecdotal than anything else, but this is the structure that you want to pay attention to when you ID Bucephelandra. Here's a close-up of the staminodes that actually fold down. And in some species, there's more than one layer. In some cases, only one layer. This one, there's 3. Here's a top-down view of the kettle as the staminodes have folded down. The top of the limb of the spade has fallen away, and you're left with just a kettle.
As you can see, this is a diverse and beautiful genus of plants that I am just stoked that I have so much of. While in Denver, I was also able to pick up some more, and I can show you those in a second as well. But, you know, one of the things that I learned from Ghazanfar was that there's several types or growing patterns of these plants. There's ones that creep, like this one, so they send out rhizomes and grow laterally or across the rocks that they're native on. There's ones that grow upright, like these guys. And then there's ones that grow in a mat, which I'm not sure if you guys be able to really see it, but there's the kind in there that grow in a mat. And I just thought that was really fascinating, simply because I'd seen it so frequently in my own aquarium. All in all, I think this is a really incredible family of plants that is, you know, useful and beautiful to all levels of aquarists, and definitely worth the while to grow. As always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you stop by my Instagram, my website, and my Facebook. And let me know below if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions. I'm really considering starting to do more plant-type spotlights. I think it's pretty interesting and some information that's needed. So let me know what you think below.